Welcome once again to this channel. So your busy made it easy. The only channel in Ghana exam fields. We are going to continue our sections on equation as I promised you. We've done equations, so if you have not watched the video, go check it out. Equation part 1 and part 2. Today we are moving on to inequalities, linear inequalities. And what's the difference between an equation and inequality? I said in my previous video that equation is any numerical statement involving the use of equal sign. Inequality is also any numerical statement that involves the use of either less than, greater than, less than or equal to, or greater than or equal to. So in equation, instead of using 2x plus 4 is equal to maybe 12. In inequality, you see 2x plus 4 less than 12, or greater than 12, or less than or equal to 12. So that's the only difference. And the way we solve it is the same. The way we solve it is the same. But what makes equation different from inequalities is that inequalities, when we get to a point that you are dividing and the coefficient of the x has become negative, the sign changes to the opposite sign. That is the difference you have to take note of. So maybe you have gotten to a point where you have 3x minus 4x greater than maybe 4. So here we know it's going to give a negative x greater than 4. And to divide this, we have to divide it by the introduction of 4 here. So to divide this, we have our negative x divided by negative 1. Then here the sign changes to the opposite sign, divided by negative 1. So this cancels, then get x, which will be less than 1. Negative 1 divided by 4 will be negative 4. Yes, so that's the only difference you should know. So when you get to a point where the coefficient of the x has become negative and you are coming to divide, change the sign to the opposite sign, for which in equation is not like that. That's the difference. And most of the time, inequality, you ask you to find the truth set. To find the truth set, you leave your answer in the truth set form. And this one is very simple. So assuming we have solved this and we are leaving the answer in the truth set, you will just bring your bracket instead the truth set. The truth set is x is such that x is, then you say, is less than negative 4. So normally they ask you to leave your answer in the truth set form. So this is how it will be done. And also, there will be a point you will be asked to represent your answer on a number line. Yes, so in inequalities, these are the things that you should expect in the inequalities. And this is what differentiates inequalities from equation. So we are going to take our first question to see how this one to be done. So in this question, we have to find the true set of 2x greater than 3 minus x. We are going to apply the equation principle. That's what we do. You have to group like terms. Yes, so this one, instead of the equal sign, you see the greater than sign. So this one is going to cross the operation sign. So we are going to have our 2x, then plus x, which will be greater than the 3. This negative crossing the greater than sign will be plus. So 2x plus 1x will give us 3x greater than 3. And as we all know, we are going to divide both sides by the coefficient of x. So this one will give us here over 3, here 2 over 3. 3 will divide itself 1, 1. Then we are going to have x greater than 3 will divide itself 1 divided by 1 divided by 1 is the same as what? 1. So the truth set. So the truth says x is such that x is greater than 1. So this is how we solve this as inequality. So simple to understand. So we are going to take the next question. So we have to find the true set of 3x plus 2 greater than or equal to. So when you see a line under the sign is greater than or equal to 11. So we are going to find for x. We are going to find from x, and to group like terms, this one, the positive 2 will cross the greater than or equal to sign. So this one will give us 3x greater than or equal to 11. Then positive coming here will be minus 2. Then we have 3x greater than or equal to, now 11 minus 2 is going to give us 9. So we are going to divide both sides by the coefficient of x to get our x. So this one divide here, 1, 1. We have our x here. 3 can divide this of 1, divide here, 3. So 1 divided by 3, you know it's 3. So we are going to get x is greater than 3. So the truth set is x is such that x is greater than or equal to 3 as the answer. So this is how we find the true set of this. We are taking another question here. So we are going to find the true set of 3x minus 4. This one is less than or equal to 4, bracket open x plus 4. So the bracket is the only thing that is new here, but we know how to open a bracket. Yes. So we are going to write this minus 4. Then we open the bracket, 4 times x, 4x plus, so 4 times 4, which will give us 16. Now we have to group like terms. 3x, then minus 4x, less than or equal to, now we have positive 16. This one coming here will be plus 4. So take note of the sign when they are crossing the operation sign. Now when we see here, 3x minus 4x, the 4 is bigger than the 3. So we are going to get negative 1x. Now less than or equal to, now 16 plus 4 will give us 20. And I told you earlier on that when you are coming to solve inequality and you are going to find the variable and the coefficient of the x has become negative, the sign changes to the opposite sign. And I introduced negative 1 because of the negative x. So when you come here, you are going to repeat this x, then you change the sign to the opposite sign. Before you divide here by negative 1, negative 1. Negative cancel negative, 1 cancel 1. Now we have our x. Now greater, greater than or equal to. The less than or equal to has become greater than or equal to. Yes, so this is how it is done. Just change the sign to the opposite sign. When you see that the coefficient has become negative, then you divide. Negative 1 divided by 20 to be negative 20. So this one, instead of the less than or equal to, because of the negative that came here, the sign has changed. So if you master this, you can solve any inequality question. Yes, so since it is true set, so the true set is now x is such that x is greater than or equal to negative 20. So this is how we solve this. So take note of this once and for all and you'll be good to go. We are taking another one. So this question, we are finding the true set of 5 minus 2x greater than x plus 2. We all know we group variables at one side and numbers at one side. So we are leaving the 2, the negative is affecting the 2, so don't forget. So we have negative 2x, then this x here is positive, so minus x. This one greater than, now 2, this one coming here will be negative 5. Don't forget, the negative is when the negative is in front of a number, it's affecting it. So here the positive is affecting the 2. So when you are leaving the 2 here, it should be with a negative. Be very careful with that. So now negative 2x minus 1x. I've always been telling you, take it as you are owing. You are owing 2, then you want to borrow another one. So this one is going to be negative 3x. Now greater than, now 2 minus 5 is going to be negative 3. Now when we subtracted, we have seen that this has become negative. So before we divide, we have negative 3, the sign will change to the opposite sign, minus 3. Then before we divide here by negative 3, here by negative 3. Negative cancels negative, 3 divide 3, 1, so we have x. So this negative will cancel this negative, 3 will divide 3 here, 1, so 1 divided by 1 is also 1. So we have 3 is less than 1. So the truth set once again, x is such that x is less than 1. I'm emphasizing on changing the sign. You have to know, God being so good, I get a chance to mark some of the BC and the WASI. So I know the mistakes students do. That's why I emphasize on certain things. So take note of that and you are good to go. So this is how we find the true set of this question too. So we are taking the next question. We are finding the true set of this inequalities 2. We all know how we did the equation involving bracket. You know how to open a bracket. It's the same principle. So 2 times x will give us 2x. Then 2 times negative 2 give us negative 4. Then greater than or equal to 5 times x will give us 5x. Then 5 times 1 will give us 5. We are going to group like terms as we know. So we have 2x. This one will cross the operation sign here. Negative 5x. Greater than or equal to the positive 5 is here. Now the 4 coming here will be plus 4. Now 2x minus 5x is going to be negative 3x. Greater than or equal to 5 plus 4 will give us 9. Once again, the coefficient of x has become negative. To divide it, we have to change the sign to the opposite sign. Don't forget, if it is less than, it will be greater than. If it is greater than or equal to, it will be less than or equal to. Take note of that. Now we are going to divide both sides by negative 3 here. Negative 3. Negative will cancel negative. 3 will divide 3. 1, 1. We have x greater than or equal to. Now negative 3 dividing positive 9 will be negative 3. Take note of that. So the answer will be a negative 3 here. Then our truth set is x is such that x is less than or equal to negative 3. I'm always bringing the truth set because when we are marking, we give you the M1, the method, then the answer for A, then the truth set 2 is marked as A. So if you land here without concluding the truth set, you might lose a precious mark. So take note of that. Now let's take the last question on this. So the last question here, 3 bracket open x minus 4 bracket close less than or equal to 4. 4 bracket open x plus 3. So we are going to open the bracket. So this one will give us 3x minus 12. 3 times 4 is 12. Less than or equal to then 4 times x, 4x, then plus 4 times 3, which is also 12. We are going to group like terms. 3x minus 4x less than or equal to, now we have positive 12 here. This one coming here will be plus 12 again. Negative 3 minus 4x will give us negative 1x once again. Then less than or equal to 12 plus 12, we know it's 24. The coefficient has become negative. So we have negative 1x greater than or equal to 24. Before we divide here by negative 1, negative cancels negative. 1 divide 1. Then we have x greater than negative 1 divided by 24 will be negative 24 as our final answer. Then the truth set is x is such that x is greater than or equal to negative 4. So this is the end of this section, linear inequalities, finding the truth set. So the next lesson is going to be linear inequalities involving fraction and representing them on the number line. So don't forget to subscribe and recommend to all students at all levels to have a benefit. If you have any question, you can leave it in the comment section. And if you have any topic in math you are finding difficult, then you just leave it and it will be tackled for you. Until we meet again, we say bye bye and meet you another time.